Welcome back to Geek Show Arcade.
Clicky clacky beep boop.
Clicky clacky beep boop.
Can you give me a?
Let's hear some
can you
button
give me
clicks.
Oh
yeah.
Can you give
Button
me
click.
more of
a
that.
functional? Can you give me a functional reason why a mechanical keyboard's better?
All you need
Functional.
is this. Oh, functional.
They make me happy.
No,
It's good for
that's
the
not
same
functional.
reason why you
That is
like mowing your
functional.
lawn.
Are you
get
a
instant
better
gratification.
player?
Well, there are certain keyboards like this one that I have that you can adjust the actuation point.
Okay.
So
Actuation
Okay.
point, whatever.
yeah.
So you can make it a
there's
hair.
that.
You can make a hair trigger.
Hey, make a hair. Yeah. You can make
Okay,
a hair
you know
trigger.
what? You've changed my mind. That's all I needed. Continue.
So-
This is the Geek Show Arcade. We talk about games and things. You know.
I've been playing games.
I've been playing things. You know.
Yeah,
I
buddy.
Play
Listen.
games with things.
Listen to this. These guys just do it. You know.
When does this episode come out?
Friday.
Hey,
The
tonight.
6th.
Mark your
or
calendars. Go to
Thursday.
Comedy Sports. I'll be there. Center Street.
For our
Provo.
patrons- for our patrons,
7:30.
It comes out Thursday.
Yeah.
They get a
Thursday
day
for
early?
Okay, well, I don't care about Thursdays. Friday. Come on the 6th. Comedy
the 6th.
Sports.
It's 16.
And then when you see a vulnerable, tall, white guy up on stage, that's me.
Are you doing a
100%.
comedy? You're doing a comedy set. You're not there as the AV guy.
No, Comedy Sports is.
I've seen a
improv.
show. It's great.
Yeah.
I loved
Bro.
it.
Jaren's been the
James.
only one out of everybody here that has
Oh,
come.
when is it?
Guess
I'm-
what, James? This is only the second time you've invited us, so it's not like we've been,
I'm only-
spoiled
I'm
for
only-
choice.
Yeah,
so
this is-
first
Tony
up.
and Owen had a 100% rejection rate so far.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
are you
about
guys going to come
drop
on
that by-
Friday?
Yeah.
I
I'm about to
might.
drop
I
that
might
by
just do it.
50%.
Come
Hey,
over
hey,
there.
If you text me before you come, I'll get you in for free.
Oh, I like that. Yeah,
I like that a lot.
I'll
Well,
go get
and
some
this only goes for these guys here. Any listeners, please come.
and pay at the
$10
door.
ticket.
I'll go get some-
I can't afford that many.
I'll go get some pupusas at the delicious El Salvadoranian restaurant on Main Street in Provo.
Stop by
Let me
Rockwell for
verify
delicious
that
ice
online.
cream.
Yeah.
And get me some gluten-free bakery stuff.
I think we just make a night
Awesome.
of it.
Are we having a?
Oh,
Are we
I
having
want to
a
go.
Did we just-
gadget?
did we-
You're gonna be there.
Oh, yeah, I'll be there. Ah, eat it.
You're the reason we'd be going.
I thought you were talking about food. I'm not
Oh,
going to
well, I
be at the
mean-
food place.
Yeah, you can come too.
No, I can't. I'm going to be at the show.
All right. Okay.
It's
well,
good. It's good. It's a good cast. It's going to be funny. It's improv. It's funny.
Check
It'll
it
be
out
funny.
there.
It'll be funny.
Comedy
funny.
Sports Friday night featuring James.
It'll be funny.
All right. Do we have any emails?
Nope.
No emails. Ooh, I just almost pushed the button. It's a good thing I held off.
You could have
The
you could have
button.
done like a no in front. No email. You just
Oh,
edit
that's a
that
good
in post,
idea.
You know?
Yeah. But I didn't. All right.
Can you guys explain to me how to play Elder Scroll? No,
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring. I
Elder
can't.
Bear?
I don't get it. Like, what is the appeal to that game? It just
Well,
seems.
let me ask you first. Did you buy it?
Yeah. I did. I bought it on
And
my
did you
Steam Deck because I have a
install
lot
it?
of time on my hands.
Okay.
I did, and I'm about
died
10
a
minutes
lot?
in. What are the things, the spirits that I'm collecting? Does that
That's
have
how you.
like
That's how you
improvements to the
level up.
game?
That's
Those
your
are your-
currency for
Your
leveling up.
runes.
It's also
Yeah.
bragging rights, I think, right?
Yeah.
See, for me-
Is there a
It
class
was,
I should have
uh,
chosen?
I don't know. I did basic soldier or whatever. I don't even remember what class
I think-
I
I
did.
think
It was
the
like 2 years
assassin.
ago.
Jaren's class was murder hobo. He just went around killing everything.
That's what I did. Didn't care about the story. Whatever I
Didn't worry
saw, I
about
killed.
any story.
Is there a story in it? All that I know is
No.
there's a giant
There-
glowing tree from World of Warcraft.
There really is not a coherent story unless you go read online all the lore that people have found and posted. But as
Then
far as
why
like,
is it
here's
still
a
the
cutscene
biggest
with
game
story.
on Steam? Like, still.
Because
It's
it lasts
fun.
forever. It takes forever to beat. It's
And it's
really fun
fun.
to explore. The
Yeah.
upgrade path is amazing. And once you understand the combat, it's quite satisfying.
Jaren is correct in all of those things.
Wow.
Well, okay.
Yep. I got into it after
Took you a
never
bit, but
planning
you
on it.
But you did it.
I did. I beat it. And I regret
You didn't
nothing.
beat it.
It's a good time. I
You
got to
fake
the
beat
end.
it.
I beat the Elden Lord. I beat the Elden Beast. Game
Whoa,
over. Credits
spoiler
roll.
alert.
You haven't even gone to
Credit-
the Millennia section.
Credits rolled.
and guess what? I still beat it because
Well,
the
not
credits
us.
rolled. That's like saying all the
Technically-
people that do the games done quick, they're not actually beating the game. That's like saying,
Right.
you didn't explore every
Okay,
corner.
that's what you did. You did games done quick. Only
It took me
you 100
99
hours.
hours.
Well,
I mean,
to be
I mean,
fair,
I beat,
that's how
I beat Minecraft, right? So
Yeah.
you beat Minecraft.
I beat it.
The
I
boss.
gotta.
Totally beat it.
That's how I gotta
Totally,
do all
I
the
win.
Zelda games,
That's what
man.
I do
Like,
the winning, all the winning.
I do the
beat the
winnings.
games, all the games, best games. They say never
You
been
know
beat.
it. I know
Yeah.
it.
The games,
Everyone knows it. I beat it. I
Tony
beat
trumped
it.
it. That's what he did.
Yep.
Except I actually did
Rosie
it.
O'Donnell's a pig.
All
Oh,
right.
is that too far? Okay, that's cool. Found the limit.
Found it.
Let's just move
Barged.
right past.
Let's scoot on back.
I don't think about it like that. I like
Do
Kmart.
we need a 5-second moment so you can edit that in post, or
I didn't even hear what he said.
I have no
Okay.
comments for Toby Maguire or Joaquin Phoenix.
okay, good.
Good. That's good.
That's safe.
Okay, let's talk about another
And his
controversial
mouth.
game, Zelda.
Specifically his lips.
We have got confirmation from Nintendo that Zelda has a multiverse
Oh no! Please no.
because Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom do not fit on any previous Legend of Zelda timeline that Nintendo had.
It's fine though, right, Jared?
Oh,
Just
you
like
mean
Wheel
they're
of Time.
totally
Yeah.
Just like the Wheel of Time, Jared,
coherent
right? It's fine.
timeline?
Can we just say that there's no multiverse and they just rebooted it? Come on.
Nope.
Nope.
The
it's a multiverse.
article I don't think actually says, and none of them I saw mentions a multiverse, but that's what this is. I mean, if you think about it. So you have the regular Zelda line of timeline, whatever, and then existing outside of that. Here, we'll look at it. Let me zoom in on this.
All that I'm saying is like if like one game bled into the next, like look at like Ocarina of Time and like Majora's Mask. That's kind of cool because like it picks up right where he left off. He went to go look for Navi, right? Like
Yeah.
that's cool, but like outside of that, is there any bearings on the next game? Did you bring anything with you? Probably not.
Probably
Does it
not.
matter?
Just the lore and the history.
Lore doesn't matter. I'm an
No.
adopted
and a
kid.
linear
My lore
and a
doesn't
linear
matter.
and a linear timeline of logical succession. Nothing too big, you know.
I know you're
kinda-
being facetious, but I appreciate you backing me up. Thank
I
you.
know. There you go.
Okay, so here is the official timeline for The Legend of Zelda.
Somebody was on cocaine when he made this. 100% he
The
was.
very
'Cause
first-
This does not make any sense.
The very first Zelda game in the timeline is Skyward Sword.
What?
And then, it moves along to the Minish Cap, if you remember that one. Then you have Zelda Four Swords. And then you have The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is the next one. And then there's
Timeline
two
splits?
branching
Ocarina of Time
timelines.
is the Superman of the Zelda history.
That's where they spun
compendium.
the. That's
Yep.
where they
This
spun
is-
the world
that's the
back.
pivotal point.
Everything
Lois
goes around.
died.
Yep,
Lois
it's
died.
and Superman became crazy. So it is the pivot point where you have two branching timelines where the hero is defeated or the hero is triumphant. When the hero is defeated, the next one is Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, Legend of Zelda: Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages. Those are Game Boy games. Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, and then Legend of Zelda: Triforce Heroes, and then just The Legend of Zelda, followed by Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link.
Here's why this
Wow.
is dumb and ridiculous.
I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet.
What? Okay.
Hero is triumphant. This line, you have his
Wait, this
childhood
is-
era and his adult era. In the
okay.
childhood
So
era,
then-
you go Majora's Mask, Twilight
Majora.
Princess, and Four Sword
So
Adventures.
this is the prequel. These are like
Yep.
prequels to the story.
And then
okay.
and then in the adult era, you have Wind Waker, Phantom Hourglass, and Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. And then off in the corner in another area of the multiverse, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Which they just have as like a bar.
Yeah,
They're
there's
like,
just a
"We don't
bar
really-"
like
they're
not
like,
these,
this was really good. This was good. This really flowed.
but not these.
But man,
Well,
we're
what's funny
tired
is
of
I
this.
feel like
we're
they-
tired of continuity. This is so lame.
What is this? The MCU?
Yeah.
It's so dumb because it's not like Ocarina of Time, like it has endings for those other options. It doesn't.
That is,
And so
yeah,
it's like-
you either win the game or you don't, and you keep
Yeah.
going until you win the game, you know?
Yeah, either give me something that means something, or just put your efforts into going back and making the game. I don't care if somebody took a lot of Adderall and they're like, I have a timeline. I think it's great. It's like, great, Gary. Work on the game.
Yeah.
You know?
The best part is there's somebody who literally can't handle that out there. Or maybe multiple somebodies who will, kind of like they did with the Cars and Monster Universe for Disney, find a way to connect all those together to find the link to the timeline for those games. Somehow.
I saw what you did there, and I didn't laugh for a reason.
I know.
I feel bad.
You know what? No. There's somebody out there that went, no, Owen. But
No, I'm
that's
just
all I
kidding. You're
wanted.
funny. I'm just getting back at you for texting me.
I'm
I
getting
text-
back
I
at
don't
you for
see a
wanting to
need
be my
for
friend.
a linear. Yeah. Listen, my family gave up on me. I'm not letting another one in. I just don't see a point. Like, unless they bleed, it's fine. Just do anthologies. It's fine.
Well,
It
if you
doesn't
looked
matter.
at that timeline, there's areas of time in between a lot of these games where it's like the fall of Hyrule, and then the new game starts.
So
and,
does this
you
this
know,
bleed
but
back
it-
into
it
the whole
confuses
Link,
it even more.
Zelda doesn't have a story argument that we get after
Yeah.
Lando about?
I
Oh,
think
good
this
thing
is-
Lando's not on today.
I
This
know.
is,
This is
no,
great.
no. I think this is further proof that Zelda
Like,
doesn't really have a story, and it
because,
just
like,
has all these. Someone
just-
just decided, yeah, this is the order of how it went
does
down.
Tears of what is it? The
It doesn't have a story. They have a subscription to Adderall.
It's Tears of the Kingdom, and what's the other one?
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the
Breath of
Wild.
the Wild. They don't have any through point on arc or world building or anything
No,
like.
I mean,
They
it's
do
the same
kind
Zelda
of,
story.
But yeah, that's the thing. It's not the
But it
only
wasn't
time
like
I've
he
seen.
beat the temples, and then now in Tears of the Kingdom, this new monster came in, and
It
it's-
is.
Is that
It
what
is.
it's like?
It is
Oh,
like that. Yeah. So,
So there is some
the most-
continuity
so
between the two.
The most
Tears-
story
Tears of
is
the
in the
Kingdom,
first 10 minutes. That's it.
exactly right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom takes place like pretty much right after Breath of the Wild.
So he like didn't
Pretty-
even get like
pretty
a
close
week
to
off.
right
He wasn't
after.
like if you were looking at the timeline, he was like, "Man, I saved the world." Oh crap!
Yeah.
And has to go just jump right back into it.
There
Nintendo,
was-
a bunch of slave masters,
Yeah,
not even
they-
letting him have a minute.
Don't even let Link have a couple days off.
No,
Come
Says
on
the
now.
person who put his GPUs in the mines until they all died.
Oh,
Get
yeah, I'm
back
not,
to work.
I'm not arguing that I'm not a hypocrite. I'm not arguing that I'm not a hypocrite. I'm just still judging.
I need them ones
Come at
and
me.
zeros, boy.
All right, let's talk about some egg on PlayStation's face, Concord.
Remember that game Concord that was revealed a couple months ago? It was like Guardians of the Galaxy meets Overwatch, and
Yep, I remember.
no one liked it.
No one cheered for it.
Yeah.
Don't you guys have
Cricket.
phones?
Like crickets, don't you guys? That's what I was waiting for. Don't you guys have phones?
It came out 2 weeks ago, and reviews weren't bad. They just weren't.
They weren't great.
They weren't great.
It doesn't
They were-
convince me when your voice goes
Wow.
up like that. Reviews weren't bad.
Yeah.
All
It's
good
not
things.
bad.
All good things. All good
They
things.
had at most a couple hundred players playing concurrently on Steam.
Whoa.
Just a couple hundred.
Yeah.
That's
Pretty sure it was all PlayStation employees.
yeah. Bots.
Well, because like all
QA
their
testers.
studios were tweeting out, "What are you guys doing this weekend? We're all going to be playing Concord."
Yeah.
They tried.
Yeah, we can see how many employees
so you could
have.
you could totally tell Sony was making them do
Yeah,
this,
striking wet matches there.
and I'm pretty sure that was the 200 employees or 200 people that were playing the game. 25,000 copies sold is what the rumor is. Don't really have a way to verify that.
Yikes.
Anyway, fast forward 2 weeks, Sony is shutting it down and
Pulling the plug.
refunding all people who bought it.
Oh,
That
those
is-
poor devs.
That is.
know,
Oh,
I
I
feel
feel
so bad for
I
those
do. I feel
devs.
really bad for them. The crazy part about all this, craziest part, if you ask me, is the fact that they are claiming this game was in development for 7 years.
Right.
And when did the first Overwatch come out? 7 years
Ooh.
ago.
7 or 8 years ago. And
Yeah.
so they saw Overwatch and have been developing this game for 7 years.
They wanted a piece of that pie.
And they completely botched the timing on this. You know, if this had come out a year or two after Overwatch, 2 years after Overwatch, it probably would have been big.
Yeah, that would have
Yeah,
been. It would have
probably.
been. It would competed in
But
that sphere, right? Like
I-
in that.
I don't know. I saw a bunch of videos of this game. I do not know what they did with 7 years to create this game.
It
This
looks
game-
nice.
They
I
played
mean,
Overwatch.
It looks
making a game look that good, it takes time.
it looks fine. It doesn't look outstanding by any means. You know, you look at other 7-year-long developments, and you can tell that those games are really, really
So-
good.
How
looking.
long did
it take
God of War
Outlaws?
take to make?
Yeah, God of War was. That's a good question.
That was
So
like
I
a
know-
5-year.
Between 1 and 2, you're talking like 5 years, and that game is one of the best looking games on
Yeah,
PlayStation.
you're comparing apples to oranges, though. It's single player versus multiplayer.
Yeah, I think
How long
single
did it
player
take
is
them
harder to make.
Tetris?
When you make a game at the scale of God of War, a 40-hour single player game.
I don't know enough about game development to opine on that, but
Eh.
I'm pretty sure there's trials on both
Do it
sides
anyway.
of the coin.
Oh, there are for sure, no doubt about
Yeah.
that.
Man,
But
you can't
yeah,
use
the
words
point
like
is-
opine.
Yeah.
You
Plus,
know
you don't need
numbers.
facts, buddy. What's that?
I'm
Roll
sure there
with
was
it.
I'm sure there was a lot more going on behind the scenes too that probably caused it to take 7 years to make.
Well, that's-
you know,
Right.
What's in their quote
But-
here? We also recognize that other aspects of the game and our initial launch didn't land the way we intended. What other aspects of the game are they talking about?
probably the
good
fact
part.
that everyone made fun of it when the video released of
Oh.
showing them trying to basically be Guardians of the Galaxy, but hero-based 5v5 shooter.
Honestly, that's what the Dragon Age trailer felt like to me too. That first one, I'm like, what is this crap? But then after that,
Well, they showed some gameplay and stuff, and
yeah, it looked much better after
Yeah.
that initial trailer. But unlike that Concord, that is
look at
what they're going for.
that's exactly what they're going for, and it was also going up against. Not only is it already a saturated market for these kinds of games, Marvel Rivals is in beta right now and coming out, and if anything's going to suck the air out of the room for new 5v5 hero shooters, it's going to be Marvel
anything
Rivals.
Yeah.
You know, people will look at it and be like, "Oh, Marvel, I'll play that," and it's
I
free
mean-
to play,
Yeah.
versus $40. You know, like it just. I don't think it
So-
would have mattered how good this
so-
game could have been. It just the
Well, at least
timing
they're
was
letting-
so bad.
So at least they're giving the devs back the money they spent buying their own game. So, you know,
Oh,
like
jeez.
the 200 people that worked on the
Oh,
game,
man.
giving them
Mom,
their
you
money
know how I
back.
asked you to buy that game? They're giving you the money back.
It
so.
just
No.
sucks that
What do you mean you don't want Daddy's game anymore? Sony's giving me a refund, Dad.
I'd abandoned me too.
But that's the game Daddy made. Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, but the
Well, it
Marvel
doesn't-
just
you're
came
breaking
out
my
with the
heart.
it doesn't matter though, because even if you don't get the refund, they're shutting the servers down on the 6th,
Yeah.
so you won't be
Daddy-
able to play it
Yeah.
anyway.
Daddy, I love you,
man.
but can I return your game and get something else like
Game. Can I
Overwatch?
get that new Marvel game?
I feel so. It sucks that
Ooh.
it took this long to make a game, and these devs were doing it based on the decisions of leadership, and it was a bad decision, and now they all suffer. Oh,
Yeah.
it sucks.
Concord was reportedly in development for 8 years at a cost of at least $100 million. Could you
I don't
imagine?
think they made that back, and I'm pretty sure giving money back for the game doesn't make money either. So
Yep. Man, that is wild.
Yeah, I just hope this is a message to the industry. Hey, single player games are okay. We don't need all this live service stuff.
Single player games are fantastic, A, and B, read the room. You know,
Yeah.
even if you have something in development for many years, if you're
Shut
looking
it
at
down.
if you're looking at the
Yeah.
market after a couple years and realizing
drop it.
this isn't
Yeah.
the I don't know
Yeah.
what's it, but this isn't it. And
Right,
That's
right,
the
it's
sunk
better-
cost
it's-
fallacy, Tony.
Right?
I know.
It's like better to live in infamousy than
Infamy?
to put out infamy. There you go.
Well, the
Better to
crazy
live in
thing is,
infamy of being like they never released it, because now you've got this little like mystery. People are like, I wonder what that game would have been like. But if you
well, here's the
Drop a
thing though,
turd?
Owen, here's the thing
Ugh.
that doesn't apply to this because nobody knew this game existed until 3 months ago.
okay, so there was
Nobody
no
knew this
mystery.
game existed until they
Ooh.
announced it at Gamescom,
could-
not
they-
Gamescom,
they-
but Jeff
I mean,
Keighley's show.
I mean, realistically though, Sony's like they're just gonna write it off, right? Like it's not like they just write it off as a loss. So
Yeah, and Sony owns
which sucks for their
company.
financials, and it's going to be bad for their stock price.
Sony's
Yep.
Sony's financial. I
Oh,
think everybody
Sony
has
owns this company that built that made it. They bought them in
Yeah.
2023. Fire Axis, I think, is what they're.
Yeah, it's like when
Dev
movie
team is
theaters
called.
put out a turd too. Like that studio doesn't close; they just write it off, and people go, "Yeah,
Do you know
just
what
didn't
write-off
play well."
means?
Yeah, write it off.
Yeah.
I just said it again.
I know how to
you
say
hear
the
me?
words. What more do you want?
Did you not hear me? Write it off
Like
as
I
a
get
loss.
a tax
It just
form and I
doesn't
put
go
down the money
away.
that I would like.
It does. You write it off, Jaron, and then you
Yeah,
get
It's
a
in the
write-off.
last word. Off.
Off.
Jaron, it makes me think you
think
don't
I'm-
know numbers.
I think I'm being
I'm the
very
problem.
clear. As
Egg on Jaron's face.
as a semi-professional Bitcoin / financier,
You're right. What was
Let's
I
say
thinking?
They're
tax
taking-
artist.
I didn't want to bring that one out, James, but yeah, they write it off. It's no longer there. Bernie Madoff.
Hello.
What's
Oh,
the
yeah, he was a good example.
They
Yeah.
take it and they write it off. They just write it off. You know it.
Write it off.
I know it.
like
Everyone
it
knows.
used to
You
be-
just write it off
like
and it's
with a-
gone.
a pencil
For
before,
Rosie
but now it's
O'Donnell.
now they just move it to another company, then sink
Gone.
that company, then declare bankruptcy, and then it's gone. We all know this.
You've hurt Jaron internally.
Please don't audit any of
Look
us
at him.
except for Jaron.
Look at his
Look at his-
face.
I
He's
know.
trying to find his happy place,
know.
but he's not finding it.
You just grab yourself a W9.
Do you write things off, Jared?
Yeah, we write things off all the time, and
There
it
you
sucks for our financials.
No, it
All
doesn't. You just move
right.
it to a shell company and then declare bankruptcy. That's
Here's
the way-
maybe something that'll make Jaron feel better. Remedy is teaming up with Annapurna. And
I
They're
love
gonna
Remedy.
they're going to start making their IPs move telling some stories in film and television, starting with Control and Alan Wake.
If
Ooh.
they hire other
How-
actors, I'll be pissed.
How nervous are you, Jared?
They better
Come on.
keep the same
they're
actors.
Taking,
They
They're
should.
taking, yeah, they're taking something you love. Don't worry, it'll just be another universe, like the Wheel of Time.
If they
Second
made
time I've
it,
got to use that tonight.
no, if anyone can make it all tie together, it's Remedy.
Okay,
Remedy
I
can
trust-
make it
I
all tie
trust them.
together,
Yeah.
yeah, but they have to be consistent in their actors. I think you're 100%.
They have to be the
correct.
remedy.
If they have another actor for Alan Wake, it'll be revolt. Everyone will be pissed
Who's
And
the
then
actor
that's
now?
when Jaron will write it off.
from my brain.
Just write it
It'll
off.
be a
from his
big
brain.
loss
I did
for
it.
me because
It
I'll be
works.
sad.
So
That was good,
Annapurna,
James. I just caught up to that with my brain.
If you will read back the transcript, you will see that I have not perjured myself.
Annapurna, I think, is a good fit for Remedy because they kind of specialize in the weird stuff as well, and that's what Remedy's all about. I mean, if you've
Were
played
they the
any
ones
of their
that did
games,
the Alice in Wonderland weirdo game back in the day?
no, you're thinking of American McGee.
Oh, that's right. I
yeah,
love
pretty
that
close.
studio.
Yep.
Did Microsoft buy them too? Probably. Yeah.
I think they just
I should
went
just.
away.
Yeah.
So yeah, Annapurna. Trying to remember what they did.
I'm excited for that though as a TV show because I haven't played those games. Like I would love to see those adapted and then play them after.
Annapurna is a video game publisher, but they also have Annapurna Pictures, which does.
And Anna Kournikova.
She's not relevant anymore. You can't make that joke.
Is she not? What is she? Was she a talent scout?
Tennis player.
Oh, like Tia and Tamara?
What?
Nothing,
Sister
just keep
Sister is
going.
not relevant right now. You can't make that joke.
Oh, who's the two sisters that play tennis that are ladies?
Oh my goodness.
Just keep going. Just
Talking
keep
about the
going.
Williams sisters?
Dude, just tune me out and keep going.
That's James.
What are you doing?
Serena and
You're
Venus?
focusing on me too much.
No, James. This is how I'm alone. I'm an island without you. This is three.
Thank you.
It's
Owen and I are gonna split up and start our own podcast.
I just-
It's the ADD
look-
show. And it's gonna be whatever we want to talk about. No, It's
Look-
gonna have pictures.
Owen will talk in circles, and James will just
you guys
interject
see
with
it?
his weird
Yeah.
little
Non
things.
sequiturs.
Anecdotes.
Tony's going to look at the audio line this time, and I'm going to be at a 30% or 25% reduction because James is here.
Oh, that's where I
They
got
sell
confused.
Dr. Pepper with coconut now.
So
you see that?
one's really good, by the way. That flavor, it's
Yeah, it
delicious. Annapurna Pictures was before
Oh, yeah.
Annapurna Interactive. Annapurna Interactive was founded off of as a division of Annapurna Pictures. So
I didn't
these
know
are
That's a
that.
fun word.
yeah. So these guys.
Is Annapurna a person? I'm not sure.
It's a company. It's It's a U.S. based production company. They've done a lot of just random stuff. Some of it's really good. Some of it's not so good. Like we got a whole bunch of stuff I've never really heard of. Where'd You Go, Bernadette? Hustlers, Wounds. But then up here you have The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, which was great on Netflix.
That was a great one.
Yep. Bad Batch. Nope.
Oh,
not
that's
that.
a good one.
Not that Bad Batch. This is a different Bad
Gosh,
Batch.
dang it.
Sausage Party.
Sausage Party.
Oh my gosh, what a garbage
been,
movie.
I have been recommended to watch that by no less than
No.
5 people. Is it
But
not
I'm
worth watching?
a pretty vulgar person, and that movie was too much for me, especially
Kinda like season-
after the end.
Season 3 of The Boys.
Oh my gosh.
No, dude, that was so good. Oh my gosh, I could take that all day long.
No, it was not good. It almost made me stop watching the series, but season 4
Oh my
redeemed
gosh.
itself. So,
I can't remember what happened at the end of that.
but yeah, American Hustle, very highly
Another one,
acclaimed.
yeah.
Her, fantastic movie.
I need to see
Terminator
that too.
Genesis. I thought Terminator Genesis was pretty cool. Zero Dark 30. So they've done some good stuff. So I think Remedy has a chance here with this team up to bring some really cool cross media interaction stuff.
Yeah. Looks like they've got a little bit, they got,
got
at
the
least some,
chops,
yeah, they got the chops. They got some history
Yep.
track record.
Okay, let's move along to people that put dents in their heads on accident.
We talked
I
about
don't
this
think-
as I randomly brought this up. Do you guys have a headphone dent? Do you guys have one?
Definitely not. No.
I
You-
never
Jared-
wear headphones.
I'm
ever.
you know what? I think I probably have a temporary one after podcasting, but it's gone before the end of the day. But that's just because I have a fat head.
So
Can
there
I
was,
shape my head however I
so-
want if I wanted to?
So
Yeah, you could.
I remember this story from last year. This actually happened summer of last year, where there was some streamers that one in particular, he was shaving his head for charity, and he was like, "What the?" And it became this huge thing. He didn't know he had a
The
bump on
pictures.
his head.
The pictures, man. Ooh.
And then all of a sudden this whole subreddit broke out, and people were like, it was like, and I'm only using this for context. It was like a Me Too movement, but for headphone. It was like head bumps. Like it was
That's
just
the context you chose.
I
That's
guess
the
not.
phrase you
I'm just
went
saying
with?
it was a bunch of people. It was a bunch of people realizing they had a shared experience. I don't want to.
This is Owen's Me Too moment right here.
It really is. I'm sorry.
He
I'm
understands it 100%. This is his
Well, I'm
moment.
just saying.
get it.
That's how I relate to a bunch of people figuring out they have a shared experience, right?
Through
And
memes
making it more
online?
powerful. No, for having a headphone dent on the top of their head from gaming
You're just
too
getting
much.
really defensive. That's all. Okay.
No. Well, is
All right. You look fine.
okay. I'm good. I'm gonna roll back to
don't shave-
5 seconds
just don't
ago
shave
before I
your hair.
started. Okay. I'm gonna do a quick
good.
Windows restored about 13
All right.
seconds ago, and we're
Alt
gonna move
tab.
on where it. Thank you. There it is. Headphone dents. Headphone dents
Oh my
in
gosh.
skull. There's an article I have here, so it's old, but it's worth it because just for the opening picture of the guy who was allowed himself to be the spokesperson for this, it's really, really great. Not funny at all that he has a deformed head. But
I think it's hilarious because it's not like he was born with it. It's as a result of
No,
playing games freaking
that's what-
24/7.
that's the thing. Can headphones dent your head? No. Headphones
Oh,
can't
really?
dent. This is a study. The study reports that it takes at least 135 kilograms to cause a minor fracture in the skull.
Who put out
it's
the
safe
study?
to say, that's a good.
Okay,
good
now
question.
hang on though. they're assuming that it's because of a fracture in the skull. I think
Right.
it's just the flesh got depressed.
Right, but these pictures show that they're actually like.
Got a bunch of soft-headed people all
So,
over.
so basically, what they said. So they're saying, can they? No, they can't. One of the and then it goes into one of the most well-known cases is Tyler 1's Head-Dent, and this was a League of Legends streamer that took off his headphones. A crease on his head was visible on camera, and then it started out. So what they're saying is headphone hair happens when your headband exerts pressure
Sure.
on the top of your head for a prolonged period of time, flattening the hair. If the headband is tight enough, it may also leave a temporary crease
Right.
on your scalp. Not if you've seen the dent on people, it's clearly into the skull. Like
I don't know. I don't know how fat the top of their head is.
True. Maybe
Yeah,
they,
dude.
you know what? Maybe that's the new evolutionary jump is that there's a big fat cap.
A spot
And,
to
pardon the pun, but a fat cap
Yep.
right up there.
and
you know?
it makes it so headphones fit better.
Yeah.
They stay in
that's
place.
That's where evolving. We at first, you
We're
know,
doomed as a
us
civilization.
Yeah, we are.
non-evolved, Tony,
Yeah, we
us
super
non-evolved people had to put these pads on, and one day
Yeah.
we'll tell our grandchildren's grandchildren, you guys don't have to do that. It
We
just
used to put
molds.
pads on our headphones.
You know, we'll be like, before you had that, Johnny, and just watch it jiggle glutinously. You know, just like
Glutinously.
slap the top of his head so it jiggles.
because it's going to be glutes, buddy.
That's not the right word. Glutinously.
Grandpa Owen hits us.
Glutes.
Oh my gosh,
That's your
Not
butt
that.
muscle.
Yeah.
That's going to
Yeah,
be a
dude.
butt muscle on the top of the head, my guy.
you might be wearing your headphones
Just
wrong.
saying. Look, I can't.
Where'd you go?
Look, I can't filter everything that comes out of here all the time. Okay, what's the word gelatinous? I meant to say gelatinous.
Gelatinous.
Not
okay.
glutinous.
I don't know. I
but-
like
I like the
glutinous.
way-
I like
I- so
glutinous.
gelatinous and glutinous.
That offends me.
As a
like
celiac
the way the
survivor,
headphones feel on the
Jared,
size.
I
that
just
offends-
triggered dozens of
You
them.
cannot use that word. Only I can use that word.
I just triggered dozens of you. I'm sorry.
1 in
So
100,
go-
man. 1 in 100.
That we know of.
My family, 3 out of
dozens.
5.
So then I like that there's a big red bold caption in here. It says, if you're positive you have a dent in your skull, it's best to seek help immediately. You should take indentations on the skull seriously.
What?
Common indentation causes are genetic or congenital diseases that require immediate intervention. So basically they're saying, no, headphones can't cause a permanent dent
Maybe
in
not
your
permanent.
head.
Sure.
But it can leave a dent temporarily, and particularly because our eyes are trained to follow the outline of a shape. Flat hair that has really been flattened can look like a dent because our brains are only wired to say, well, that outline means that right below that is a solid surface, you know, volume, unless it's uncanny, then we're like, that is the top of the surface. So anyway,
Don't
you
trust.
can't do that, but basically science came out and said you were born that way, and a lot of the gamers I don't think took it very well. They just were like, no, we all have the same dent. It was like their shared
One of
experience.
us.
Their
One
shared
of
It
experience.
was like their what, Owen? Their Me Too movement?
No,
Is
their
that what it
shared.
was like?
Tony is the one bringing that back. I
Oh,
did a
jeez.
system restore. I did a system restore and wiped the backup, so I didn't say that anymore. Oh,
As somebody once said, I take responsibility for nothing.
That's
Yeah.
right. I take responsibility for nothing.
I was a different person 5 minutes ago.
I did a Windows restore. I think it's fair. It's a fair statement.
All right. Well, there you go.
What
That's
were you
your.
saying
That's
about
your.
women's suffrage earlier?
Let's not. I have a bad story about that I could share on sometime, but I'm not going to here.
That's your headphone story for the week.
There it is. It's an old one, but it made me literally laugh out loud that their shared experience was robbed from them. Back to now, they're just a bunch of people with congenital head defects.
There's just a bunch of people with weird
It
shape
just
heads.
it just shifted it. It just shifted.
That's
the
still a
blame.
shared experience,
Yeah, it
isn't
still
it?
is. I totally apologize. You guys are still having your shared experience, just not
There's
for
a lot of people on
headphones.
your short bus.
just not for headphones.
Maybe that's no short bus jokes.
Maybe that's
Nope.
maybe that's a correlative correlation thing. Maybe gamers are a specific.
That's what I was wondering. I was like,
people
are
that
they
drawn to
gamers?
game,
Are they drawn to it because of the shape of their head?
like their heads are like, we just fit headphones better. It makes sense. It's
You never
the next,
know.
next logical
Didn't see
step.
a lot
If
of
I've
other
got this,
cone heads.
I've got this dent that holds headphones perfectly. It's my calling.
Correlation or causation, which one is it?
Or
All right.
gelatination.
Oh, sorry, that one
Glutinous.
got way out of control. Glutinous. Don't
Let's move
quote
on
me on
to
that.
the glutinous subject of EmuDecks.
EmuDeck, the maker of that nice
Emu.
software for Steam Deck as well as Windows handhelds that automatically brings all of the best emulators onto your machine with like one click. So
Pronounced EmuDeck.
EmuDeck, emulation.
Yep.
Emulation.
Oh my goodness.
What are you talking about?
Anyway, EmuDeck has announced a Indiegogo project for an EmuDeck machine.
EmuDeck.
They
They're
are
going to step
taking,
into the hardware sphere.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm very skeptical of this. They're going to use Bazite OS, which is basically a third-party version of SteamOS, to run the software. It looks like a mini Dreamcast.
It does, which I think is great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Originally, they had two models, the EM1 and the EM2. The EM1 had a horrible Intel chip with only 8 gigs of RAM. Anyway, that wasn't very popular, so he canceled that, and they're just going with the EM2 model, which is decent. It's a Ryzen 8600G, which has a 760M GPU built in. It's an APU model, 16 gigs of RAM. I wish it was 24, but what can you do?
But it's Linux, so it uses RAM a little better than Windows.
Yeah, 512 gig SSD, and it has a bunch of numbers here for the frames per second you can expect from different games.
Look at the EM1 compared to the EM2 on that.
Yeah.
Hades, 60 FPS. EM2, 200 plus.
And then
Fix something.
literally the next 10 games after Hades say not playable
Not
on
playable.
the EM1.
I love it. Not yet.
So, yeah, good on him for canceling that.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's basically one guy, and he's going to be making these himself. I have no faith that this project is going to deliver.
You don't want to spend your hard-earned shekels on backing this?
No.
I mean, I
I
guess
wouldn't. I wouldn't either, personally. But
does this kind of fit into the area where the SNES Mini would be, and those like other small retro gaming like devices that you could technically load everything on? So if you wanted one ring to rule them all, type of thing.
Exactly. This is just that out of the box.
Yeah.
So it's $700 for the EM2 in the US. One part of me thinks that's like overpriced, but another part of me thinks he's not going to be able to do it for that price. Mainly because it's just one guy. He doesn't have any economies of scale. He has to get this plastic molded case in very low quantities from a vendor.
There is an example of something like this working with the RetroTink guy.
Yeah.
That's one guy.
Okay, all right.
So I mean, for that reason, I don't think that you can count him out completely. But I'm gonna say that the fact that this is only 30% of the way to its funding goal, and this is one of those. It's been up for a couple days, I want to say, close
and it
to a
hit
week.
like the major blogs out there too.
Yeah, and the fact that it's not funded by now.
not
If
a
this
lot
was
of
something people
not a
were
lot of
excited
interest.
for, if this were something people were excited for, it would already be funded.
Yeah.
Right. What's the ask? How much do they want?
Like 700.
I just
No,
wrote that down.
for the whole thing.
Yeah.
69,479.
Nice.
But here's the thing: it's a flexible goal, so that means it's taking your money either way. So
Really, I didn't know that.
this campaign will receive all funds raised, even if it does not reach its funding goal.
Ooh,
Okay.
Yamaha.
So I'm not saying don't back it, but be cautious.
It's kind of just if you wanted a dude to make you a almost DIY emulator, set top emulator,
yeah.
this is how you could do that.
I follow EmuDeck on Twitter, and someone asked him, "Is that render AI?" He's like, "Yeah, I used AI to help me with it." Like, oh,
Well, at least he was honest.
Yeah.
that doesn't sound. If you can't even get a render without AI, how's he going to get the
Yeah.
actual hardware?
I like it. I like
That's
it
a
because
good
when you look at that
point.
picture and like the bezels, like 1 foot is like an half inch on the top corner, and then down at the bottom corner, the same like overhang from the bottom foot is like a 1/4 inch. Yeah, you can definitely see the AI.
The
influence.
AI-ness. Okay, here's one that I would maybe consider if I was in this scene. The DIY option for 150,
Yeah.
you get the case, and it's got all the ports and everything built into the case and PSU built into it. So all you need to do is put an ITX motherboard, provide the ITX motherboard SoC, the chip and the RAM. That I could see being more feasible.
So what are you paying for? Just the
Basically, the case and a power supply.
The case, the power supply, and the front the front
ports.
and back ports, front and back ports on the case.
so just IO case and the power
Yep,
support.
Yep. For 150, that's not unreasonable. That's not an unreasonable ask.
No, it's not.
But
Assuming he could deliver.
that's the thing. Assuming he can deliver. I'm not going to say whether or not this guy can, because he's got a good track record with updating the program. EmuDeck.
Yeah, hardware is so
But
much harder than software,
it's true.
though.
It's true.
Sounds
You're
like
right.
his number
Yeah,
is
that's
very.
why-
You ever heard that oddly specific comment? That's oddly specific. Like the number he wants to raise is oddly specific. He's like,
I think it's because it's converted
conversion.
from
Yeah.
euros.
oh, okay.
He doesn't even have a prototype 3D CAD model yet.
Oh,
Okay.
that's not good.
It's supposed to be delivered in September of 2024.
I think he jumped the gun on
Oh
this.
yeah, I think he's
I think
a
he
year
wanted
out.
money.
If he would have gotten this kind of stuff all ducks in a row, prototype ready, and then gone
Yep.
to the crowdfunding sites, I think he'd see more success
Yeah.
than this.
Even
I
as
mean,
a curiosity,
he's-
he would have,
This is vaporware at this point.
You're right. He's done great work, but I think he's in over his head.
Might have bit off a little more than he can chew. Time will tell.
Yep. I hope I'm wrong.
All right. Well, speaking of old games, GameStop wants a slice of that retro pie. They are opening retro gaming stores that are GameStop branded now.
Why don't they just do that with GameStop?
Well, they kind of are, because they're not opening new locations. They're converting some of their current locations into GameStop retros.
Okay. That makes sense.
Which I did
Like
see a
a-
photo of one, and it looked pretty disappointing. They didn't
They're like a
Womp
retro
womp.
cafe where you can just go in and sit down and play some old games.
No, so you can go buy and sell old games
Oh.
for your collection.
A retro cafe. That sounds kind of cool.
Yeah,
But
I
that
wouldn't
would be
mind
cool.
that. How do you
Yeah.
license that though?
Yeah, especially
So-
when people don't want to leave their house.
It looks like they're covering everything from the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 era and back.
Okay.
So,
This could reinvigorate the
I think it's-
retro scene because like there's not a lot of people that want to buy the old stuff. Is hard because like when you started getting lithium ion batteries and stuff, you started having just dead devices, right? So
yeah. And I think this is a cool idea. I do feel a little bad for the mom and pop stores that specialize in this. I hope they don't get pushed by the wayside. I would still say go, give them patronize them, give them your business before going to GameStop.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is select locations. So you put in a search for locations in northern Utah. There's one,
Here's the best thing.
Where
about
is it?
Riverdale.
Here's the best thing
That's far away.
from
Yeah.
a back end standpoint. When you have a store locator, when a million people put in their zip code,
You get to know the demand in that
you
area.
absolutely get
Yeah.
a softened target, right? Like you know exactly where to put the thing, and so I guarantee you'll start seeing those pop up in the most searched, the most
very
searched
possible.
areas.
Yep.
So
So that's coming to various locations around the country sometime in the nearish future.
Whether you want it or not.
That's right. All right, Jaron, do you want to talk about Star Wars Outlaws a little bit, or shall we call it and you'll give a more thorough review, preview, early impressions next week?
Oh, it's topical. I can give some quick impressions and
All right.
give a little bit more detail next week. Anyway, I have played up till the title card and where it opens up to an open world.
Great
It's
job.
about 2 hours.
Oh, really? To get to the
yeah.
title card?
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
long
Wow.
time. That's a long
Yeah,
time.
there's like a beginning story mission. I actually like the story. I'm surprised. I thought it would be kind of meh, but it's kind of yeah. It's good.
It's not meh. It's
Yeah. It kind of plays like Uncharted
Oh,
the first
cool.
couple of hours.
No wonder you like it.
Oh yeah,
Here
yeah.
we go.
So I'm a big fan, and I really love the accessibility options that Ubisoft puts into their games lately. There's some really cool stuff in there, like the yellow paint telling you where to climb.
Yeah.
You can turn that off, and I love it.
Oh.
It makes it so much better, just because it's just not like it's.
I'm supposed to go that way.
It's supposed to go that way. It's homework as I
you-
push the up button, It's like, okay, where can I actually climb? What area looks appropriate for me to climb? Where do I need to go? It just makes it a little bit more fun.
Or if you're me, you can turn it on.
I was gonna say.
Right, yeah.
That way I can know where
can
I
do
should
that too.
go, where I
Yeah.
should look for the secrets.
I just want to go up there. That's how I do it.
But so far, it's very high quality, and graphics are amazing on PC. There's a few bugs. I hope they fix that soon. But I recommend it so far, and I'll give more impressions later.
Nice. I'm a big fan of what's the name of the developer for it?
Massive.
Ubisoft?
Massive. Yeah, Massive is great. Ubisoft was the publisher, but they also own
That's
Massive, so yeah, they're technically the developer as well, I guess, when you boil it
In
down.
your face.
Combining Uncharted with Star Wars and flying around in a spaceship or speeder. I mean, what more could you ask for?
Lightsabers.
Performance.
Customizable
We've had
spaceships.
so many lightsaber games.
Pixels.
Yeah,
I'm
just like lightsabers.
Actually happy there's no
Ray
Jedi
tracing?
in this game.
You
has
it's
say
ray
that
tracing
now until
up
they come
the
out with the
butt,
Jedi Academy
man.
too.
I was just trying to trigger him. I know he likes ray tracing.
It's got plenty of
Yeah,
that.
you
That's
do
for sure.
like it. Dirty.
Butt stuff.
James said something about up the butt, so
Yeah.
I think
No.
that's our cue to
Jared
end
sent the
things.
stuff up the butt.
Wait. I played Balaltra since the expansion came out.
And
Nothing has changed in the game. It's all cosmetic and disappointing.
well, there you go. Balatro expansion review from James.
It's
I
so
love
good.
it.
It's the game is so good, but I just thought
Not so
there was
great at
gonna be
expanding.
different. I thought they were doing Jokers and stuff with it, but apparently not. I reread it and they didn't promise that.
Speaking of
Jokes
Ubisoft, I've been playing the new Prince of Persia, the Metroidvania version that came out in January. That is a high quality game. If you like Metroidvanias, you need to check out Prince of Persia. It's
Nice.
fantastic.
That's an IP that I think deserves a little more love. So
Yeah, but it's one of my favorite Metroidvanias out there. It's up there with Ori and Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. It's really good.
wow. Cool.
My kingdom is cursed.
All
That's
right.
what it says.
Thanks for making it to the end. Before we go, big shout out to our awesome Patreon backers, patreon.com/helpdeskarcade. If you donate if you donate any money, you get access to the in-between and the Patreon secret channel and Discord. And
Where I often post free games because I have a problem
Yep.
of buying games.
Yep.
Yep.
And you get the arcade a couple days early, or at least a day early. No, it's a couple
And
days early.
And it's a whole feed.
And if you if you donate $6 a month or more, Jaron will read your name
Or whatever.
or whatever you write in.
What do you want me to say?
See?
Big thank you
I
to
just want
David.
you- Nope. Sorry.
What?
Nothing. Sorry.
David.
Big thank you to David Broshinsky, Aaron Faulkner, Connor Keesaw, and Wiffle Ball Tony. Thank you to Jason Eatman, Mies Chonies, Mountain Balls, Grand Master of Death Kwon Do, Be the 8-Year-Old, Michael Shane, Tony the Home Theater Geek, Travis Johnson by Geekshow Arcade Help Desk stickers at Pieman Graphics on Etsy. All proceeds go to Lee George K's medical bills. Jeremy, No Name, No Color, Kesslo, Eric Steinman, Eric Cruz, The In-Between Rating +10, Matt Nelson, DP, Wesley, Adam, Stuart Lloyd, the problem with society is meatballs is tasty. And Ryan, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Patreon backers. You are awesome. That is the end of this week's episode. Thanks for downloading it. Thanks for making it to the end. And just know that we appreciate you. Now, we're done. Owen, take us out.
Hey, we hope you care.
Does DP stand for what I think it stands for?
Dr. Pepper.
Oh, okay.